The 10-year rule is this. The meaningful life goal you want to achieve might take 10 years. So start your deliberate work now. Don't wait. Overnight success is a myth because what comes overnight goes overnight. Thus making patience the key ingredient for success. So you can either choose to be patient or life will force you to be patient. Regardless, my friend, you gotta be patient. All the meaningful things that I've achieved in my life, all the goals that I've set for myself were goals that took me approximately 7 to 10 years to achieve. For example, this YouTube channel, I started this in 2010 and it picked up in 2018. And now we are here because of all the work that has been put before. Drawing, I started in 1999 and I actually took it seriously in 2010. And I actually got good at drawing to a point where people were saying, damn, this guy is good in 2019. Fitness, I started working out properly in 2013 and I started seeing some decent results 2 years after that, but it took me till 2022 to actually see some actual results that I actually wanted. And finally, video editing. I started editing in 2007 and I got good at editing in 2017. So the 10-year rule is something that I came up for myself to create understanding within myself or some sort of patience within myself as to how long I can expect to achieve something that is extremely large and meaningful, such as either becoming a good artist or build a quality YouTube channel or make enough money to have financial independence. But during the entirety of this process of me starting something and me trying to get good at it, I was always frustrated. I was always just disappointed with myself that I was not able to achieve the thing that I wanted to achieve in the time frame that I set for myself. For example, when I started a YouTube channel, I was like, I'm gonna get my first 100,000 subscribers in the next 3 years. It took me 7 years. It took me 7 years to get to the first 4,000 subscribers. And the coolest part is it took me less than 7 months to get to the next 100,000. The point is I had this expectation of how long my goal should take before I see some results and then how long it actually took me to get there. And it happened multiple times. In 2017 is when I set the goal of wanting to make my first short film. And I actually made my first short film in like 2021. It just takes long because we have a life. People have a life. People have multiple things that are thrown at them. People just have stuff. And it's hard to sort of be on track all the time unless you're abso-freaking-lutely committed to it. And even then, when you're abso-freaking-lutely committed to something, it actually takes time to be good to a point where people are paying attention, people are paying money, people are asking you how you do that thing. It takes time to get to that point. So when I say I started something and I got good at something, I mean I got really good at it to a point where other people are noticing my work and saying, wow, that's pretty damn good. So they are giving me their attention, or they're basically asking me, how do you do it? Asking me to teach them the skill that I've learned, or 3, paying me money to actually do that particular skill for them. So this is like the litmus test of whether you've gotten good at something or not. So I wanted a framework, a mental framework to save me from those years of frustration created by the false, misguided expectation that I made for myself as to say how long something should take. And that's why the 10-year rule came in. If you have a meaningful goal that you want to achieve in life, something that is extremely worthwhile, something that is extremely meaningful, just expect to take 10 years at minimum to get there. There are people who will get there faster. There are people who will get that much slower. It takes more than 10 years. But it is a good frame of mind to basically have in your head so that you're creating yourself a defense against the frustration caused by false expectation, the impatience caused by false expectations. So why 10 years? Why not 5 years? Why not 3 years? Why not 2 years? I'm thinking of, say, not just getting, say, some damn results. I'm thinking of getting, say, masterful results, meaning becoming a master at a particular thing and being in the top 10% rather than the bottom 90%. And it is safe to say there is a rule which is called the 10,000 hour rule, which is basically a master has 10,000 hours of practice under their belt. That is approximately 4 hours a day, 5 days a week for 10 years, thus equating to 10,000 hours and 1,000 hours per year. And there are multiple people saying that it's too much, it's an overkill, and that is true. You don't need 10,000 hours to get to be a master. You can be a master pretty much in like the first 1,000 hours. Jake Parker, another artist, has this 10,000 minute rule, which is absolutely interesting. Put in 10,000 minutes of deliberate, focused practice in order to get good. But to be a master, to be on the top 10% and top 1%, definitely, I would say 10,000 hours is where you possibly start, because all of some of the greatest masters and prodigies that I have seen have at least have 10 years of work under their belt before they actually took off. And why is that? Why is that they have such a long period of time? Why is that someone who starts something on year one does not see results for like the first 3, 4, 5 years? And I think that is probably because of the ignorance debt that you have to pay, because that is a debt you need to pay at the start. See, when you're starting something, when you're new to something, you just don't know anything. In fact, you don't know anything about that skill, and you don't know anything about how to learn that thing. You actually need to start working at things in order to even know what you don't know. And that is what Alex Hormozi, an entrepreneur, calls ignorance debt. You have to pay down the ignorance debt as soon as you can, so good work can start to come out of you. That means you're starting the time clock of paying the ignorance debt right now. When you're starting something, you need to pay down the ignorance debt, the ignorance tax of what you actually don't know. You can do that through education, you can do that through mentorship, you can do that through reading books, or you can do that through simply just by doing the thing. If you start doing something, and if you start doing it badly, then you will see, oh boy, this does not look like anything that I have in my head. Then you'll know what you don't know. Oh wait, I want to be a cartoonist. I want to draw this cartoon character. Oh wait, this just looks like a stick man. Maybe I need to now learn how to draw heads. Then maybe I need to learn how to draw people. Maybe I need to learn how to draw composition, so that I can eventually take this character design skills and turn it into a comic. And maybe then after that, I need to learn storytelling or script writing or directing, so that I can take my comic making skills later on into filmmaking skills. This is like the trajectory. You gotta put out a lot of crappy work out there first. And there's a very popular saying, right? You need to get the crap out of the system. Once the crap comes out of the system, the good stuff will start to come out. And that's why volume at the start of any endeavor, any skill, is extremely important. It's just repetition of things. You don't need to know great quality information to start something. That's why most skilled people who are skilled, people who are masters, people who are rich, people who have attained mastery in their craft are often old, because they have a lot of time under their belt. And all those prodigies who are extremely young, who are good, which sort of contradicts the statement, have actually had their 10 years of work under their belt. It's just that they started when they were 3 years old or 4 years old, extremely young. That's why they're prodigies by the time they turn 18 or 13 or 14, because they have had 10 years way before the thing. The whole idea behind this principle, or this rule that I've set for myself, I'm not saying that you should follow it. I'm not making a case for you to follow it. I'm just sharing what is being helpful for me. It's that I want to do some great stuff in life, and that means achieving mastery in certain skill sets, often one skill set, because you have a short life. So then that means I want to set some expectations as to say how long it will take for me to get good at that thing, and also how can I be patient with that thing. It might take a decade. If it's worth it, then that decade is worth investing. If it's not, then don't do it. Do something else. Do something else that takes you a year or 2 years. And that is fine. There is nothing wrong with that. I have certain other hobbies in my life which I will not invest a decade in. I'll just put in a year. That is the whole point of this whole 10-year rule. Start your time clock right now. If you're thinking of becoming an artist, start drawing right now. If you're thinking of starting a business, start learning and executing right now. If you're thinking of becoming something, start doing the thing in a very deliberate fashion. That means you have a routine. You know what you're doing, you're aiming at something, and you're actually going towards it. Just mindless work won't help. So start now and get the thing that you want in 10 years. As a popular saying goes, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time is now.